2, 1. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We're coming at you with episode 13, and we are recording on Tuesday, October 30th, 2018. Halloween's tomorrow, so happy Halloween to everyone listening.
Yeah.
I'm Doug, and joining me, we have Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
We have Underwater Jenny.
Hi, I'm Jenny.
We have Anita.
Hello.
Hey, and once again, I'm Doug, and this week we do not have a Show Me the Money post-podcast discussion. We didn't feel there was enough content, but we'll come back with it next week, and we'll cover all of it. And of course, you could download our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you could find podcasts. But today's main topic is going to be K-pop subunits. So we're going to just talk about subunits in general, how we feel about them. But before we get to that, let's go over our weekly housekeeping. So the first thing, we have 3 big new releases on October 24th. Wednesday, we had Boa with Woman, Golden Child with Genie. And on Monday, October 29th, we had IZ*ONE debut with La Vie en Rose. So let's talk about these 3 songs. What'd y'all think?
All right, I think we all have a lot to say about. Well, I think some people have a lot to say about La Vie en Rose. So let's talk about Boa and Golden Child first. How about that?
Okay, so Boa.
Okay. Boa.
I was very impressed with this comeback from her.
Yes.
Bro, the upside down choreography.
Yo!
Yes.
When she was walking upside down.
Yeah, that was really cool.
So I watched a couple of the music shows. I think she was on M Countdown or Music Bank, one of the two. And so you know how they do 2 songs, right? On comebacks. So they were singing the second song, and I was like, why do all of her backup dancers, the dudes, look really like buff and kind of old, right? And then once they started doing the A track and they lifted her upside down, I was like, that makes complete sense.
They need to be.
Like Boa's not heavy, but still, you're lifting like maybe like 110 pounds upside down, right?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
props to them because they pulled it off perfectly. She looks stable, and it was. I really liked the song in general. It was very empowering, I felt.
Yeah.
And it's honestly at one of these points where Boa comes back for the sake of being an artist, not because she needs to prove anything or win anything. She's at that point in her career where it seems like she doesn't even care if she wins or loses. She just wants to make music. And I think that's a really cool position to be in because she could do this interesting stuff like this.
Maybe sorry, go on. What?
No, I was just gonna say that I listened to the highlight medley for her album, and I noticed that she was a part of a lot of like the composition and writing of the lyrics. So I definitely feel like she's taking more of a musical approach to her stuff now. Like, it's not just about winning and performing.
What I felt like was like when I was watching the performance videos, it felt like you might completely argue against me, but I felt like she was having lots of fun on stage. Like I could, you look in her eyes and you can kind of tell like there's that little like fire in her eyes. Like I was like, damn.
I mean,
damn.
She's 30. Like it's amazing that she's only 31 because she's been around for I think 18 years now. I think. And
say like she's such a like entertainer. Like she has a beautiful voice. Like she can sing so well. She can dance. Like, did you see her abs? I was like, what the But she's always like trying new like concepts and stuff.
Right.
So I really respect her for that.
Yep, she gets a damn from me. But like, bro, it's like she is at such like. So she's obviously an icon. She's a legend. If there's like a Mount Rushmore of females in K-pop, she's 100% on it. She might be the first ballot on it, right? Like, and for her to still be performing at this high of a level, and it's not, and like, I'm not gonna name names, but there are some veteran artists who definitely are not with the times. She's with the times still. She's still got it, 100%.
She is.
And obviously she maintains the Boa and SM like prestige. Like you can feel the professional quality going on with everything she does. But let's move on to Golden Child's Genie, because I actually have never listened to Golden Child before this week. And I was pretty impressed with them. I liked it. I thought it was good.
I've listened to some of their earlier songs, and I'm not sure, but I feel like they're still trying to find like their sound.
Yeah,
so
Anita's a very
I like
optimistic
this
person. I think they don't have a color. I'm sorry. I didn't like it at all.
What?
I just thought like I watched this after Boa and it was so like bland.
I
Just
agree.
like I don't remember much from it.
So I watched their performances, as I said before, and I thought they performed pretty well. So this group they're out of Woolim, so they have the shoes
Yes,
of
they are.
they have the shoes of Infinite to fill, which is pretty
big.
tough. But honestly, we'll see where they go because I checked out their numbers, album sales, the music videos. It's not that great right now, but it's definitely building. So we'll see where they go from here. But all right, let's get to the big one now because
Oh my god,
yo, I have so much to talk about. So IZ*ONE's debut with La Vie en Rose. Oh my goodness, I liked this song tremendously.
Have you ever thought maybe it's because you're biased to like?
Oh no, I'm hella biased. They could have said like "Happy Birthday" and I would have been like, this is lit, yo. They could have done anything that's better than Dreamgirls, and I would have been okay with it.
Oh.
I'm just throwing a little shade.
I mean,
but,
okay, Dreamgirls is a low of a standard to like beat. Like anyone can kind of beat that. Like, come on.
All right, so I'm gonna drop some statistics before we continue to discuss it. But okay, so the first thing so La Vie en Rose is the K-pop group debut music video with the most views ever in the first 24 hours.
Oh,
wow!
So the previous record was Stray Kids District 9 with 4.2 million in the first 24 hours, and La Vie en Rose had 4.5 million.
Holy shit!
Congrats!
Additionally, it is the girl group with the highest first day album sales for a debut album.
Holy shit!
Hey, that's great.
So the previous record was Blackpink Square Up with 19,000.
Yeah.
And you have to remember though that Blackpink Square Up is their like second or third release, right? That was just the first physical album you could actually buy from them. That was the album that Doo is on, right? So IZ*ONE, so that was 19,000. IZ*ONE came in on the first 24 hours with 34,000.
Holy shit!
That's a lot.
That's almost double.
And the crazier thing is, right? They've already surpassed the debuting weekly total record. So IOI's Chrysalis had 28,000 units sold in the first week, which was a record for girl groups, and they beat it in the first 24 hours. And
nice.
Wow.
And I checked the statistics 7 hours ago, and they're already up to about 55,000.
Oh my god.
It's crazy. And then the music video is up to 6 million right now. So
damn.
I'm really happy.
These are some promising numbers. Very promising. I will watch their
The
career.
hype is real.
So the crazy thing is I've been tracking like who's watching and who's downloading and who's buying. They have a way higher percentage of female viewership than I had suspected they would.
What are the numbers again? 60-30-ish?
So they were on Idol Room this morning and they had I think about 65% female viewership, which is high for a girl group.
That's kind of crazy, yeah.
And it's
a way that a girl group succeed is if they have a lot of like female fans too.
Yes, because in K-pop in general, females are the ones who drive sales because
they spend money.
If you're a male, you're more likely to be a casual fan, and you'll be a fan of a group, but you won't buy stuff. But females are the ones who are willing to lay down the cash. Respect. Let's go. But okay, so let's talk about the song now. I thought this was as good of a debut song as they probably could have had. I liked it overall. I thought the visuals of this music video were ridiculous.
I agree. Yes.
The whole thing was like, wow, you could take a screenshot here. Wow, you could take a screenshot here. That's literally the entire music video. And honestly, the set design wasn't too crazy. They just kind of let them wear nice clothing and look really pretty, which worked perfectly for them.
It felt like a song that was like it goes with the trend, right? It follows all the recent popular trend cliches that are really big in K-pop, but they take like a turn on everything, like those like little like guitar leaps in the beginning and like all that shit. Like there's a lot of like details here and there that make them stand out from your typical like K-pop kind of girl group kind of song. And I'm like, damn, they know what they're doing.
I'm gonna hand out 2 golden stars because so as you probably know, IZ*ONE's like my group right now, right? I'm gonna hand out my 2 MVPs of this release. My 2, obviously, Jo Yuri is like carrying the vocals heavily.
Yes.
I think. And my second one is Kwonumbi slash
Yes.
Chaeyeon, because they both sing the same part, but when that part comes in, it's like holy crap! It's and shout out to the cinematographer, because when Eunbi's part comes in and she does a stomp, they like shook the camera a little, and I was like, woo!
Oh my god, I love that. I love that stomp.
Oh my god! But I'm overall hype. They're on all like the reality shows this week, so for me as an IZ*ONE fan, well, no, what am I? I'm a Wiz One, right? Yeah, that's the fandom name.
I think it's wise one. Like,
Okay.
like I'm a wise one, like a wise one, like.
It's literally the name. It's like IZ*ONE, but you put a W in front of it.
Yeah,
That's the fan group name. I thought it was a play on like with one, like with them. That's what I thought. That's why I thought it was like with one. That's what I thought they were going
I don't know,
for.
man. You're the one.
I don't know. I'll find out by next week. So you give me a little slack. Like, there's so much content. I did watch the debut showcase, but I'm still catching up on things right now. Whew. Oh man. But in general, your boy Doug, very happy.
This is a very solid debut. So congrats.
Yeah, let's move on to the show winners now. We don't want to just I could talk about IZ*ONE for 3 hours straight, but we shouldn't, because obviously not everyone listening is just an IZ*ONE fan. So show winners this week. There was no show champion, chart, or winner, but the big winners this week, we had NCT winning 2, IU winning 2, and Monsta X winning 1 for Shootout.
Yay.
So I'm happy for Monsta X, because they were in a very tight window versus like tough competition.
Yeah. We even talked about it last week with their awkward position and star shit.
So good for them, because right now it's tough, because so you have IZ*ONE obviously coming out this week, big hype. Next week you have EXO coming back. Good luck.
Oh my god.
And then I think 1 or 2 weeks after that, Twice is coming back. So it's gonna be an absolute mess.
Oh, 101's coming too.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Well, yeah, 101 and Twice are both coming
Twice
back.
is next week. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, they all coming back around the same time. Oh yeah.
Isn't
Twice
Red Velvet
next
coming
week
back? Sorry, what?
Red Velvet's not confirmed yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, 101's on November 22nd. So in a couple weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks, they'll be back too. So it's really hectic, because everyone's trying to get in their songs before the end of the year festivals and the awards and all that. So it's not a good time to be an artist, but it's a great time to be a fan, because the amount of content is amazing.
That's right.
All these procrastinators.
That's all the housekeeping we have for this week. So let's get into our main topic. So we're going to be talking about K-pop subunits. So you might be asking yourself, what's a subunit? So I have a definition for you. Let's go. So a subunit is a smaller group formed by the members of a larger K-pop group for a music release or project. So pretty much, let's say you like a certain group, they have 9 members, and then they make a subunit for one specific release that's only like 4 or 5 members. That's what a subunit is. So it's you're taking parts of the group and you're releasing music or doing something, a project. So I've kind of thought about this topic this week, and I think there's like 2 types of reasonings why groups are doing subunits. So the first one is the more traditional, and I think the healthier approach, where they just want to try new concepts and styles. Like, let's say your group has 9 members and you have 3 rappers. You might make a subgroup of 3 rappers. That could be a thing. And I think the other type that we're seeing more often these days, which I am not really a fan of, is when groups are coming back with subunits that are just their popular members in an attempt to gain popularity. And I think that overall, that's not good for sustained growth of a group, and it's more of a popularity grab and not a true subunit. But let's talk about it, because sometimes subunits can be just as successful as the big group as a whole. I think a great example is After School's subunit Orange Caramel. Like, Orange Caramel was pretty much a cultural phenomenon, right? Like,
it was a fucking meme.
Yes.
They just came back with all the quirky stuff, and people like ate it up as much. It's like, honestly, it was about equal to After School success was Orange Caramel individually, because people were digging their songs back in the day.
Yeah.
Orange Caramel, like, they had the reach where like my mom knew who Orange Caramel was, but she didn't know who After School was. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, their songs were more popular than After School.
And the group Oh My Girl's kind of doing a similar thing with Banhana. So they had that like banana theme where it was 3 of them and it was kind of quirky as well. And it seems like they're trying to do the orange caramel thing where being like, we're the quirky subunit where we do the fun stuff. And we'll see how it goes. I like the first release. It was very strange, but in a good way. So I don't know.
Okay.
I think another super famous subunit was Sonyushide subunit Taetiso, which was Taeyeon, Tiffany, and Sohyun. Twinkle, oh my goodness, that song.
Dang.
I don't know if Taetiso kind of falls under this category though, because like honestly, I thought Twinkle could have been a normal Girl Generation song, and I was wondering why that was like put into a unit song.
Well, I think that SM came into it thinking that those 3 were the pretty much at that time the vocalists they had, and they just wanted to do like a vocal subunit. That was my impression.
Okay. That would make sense then.
But we've seen the rise of certain groups as like groups that only do subunits as well, right? That's like a thing now. So does Anita or Jenny want to talk about NCT, because they're pretty much on a subunit system at this point, right?
Oh boy. Yeah.
I feel like,
yeah. Well,
you want to go?
You can go first.
I feel like putting the term like subunit isn't really correct for them, because teams like NCT 127, NCT Dream, NCT China, they're permanent teams. U is like NCT unit, and that's the one that's like rotational. I guess like anyone can be in any kind of group. That's like the unit, but all the other 3, they're like permanent teams. But I guess if you look at it as a big NCT itself, then you could call it that. But they're just like it's kind of like XOK and XOM. You know, like they don't like switch out of there. And NCT's concept is super hard to explain. So if you want to add on to that,
if I can kind of add on to that, it kind of sounds like with normal groups, you begin with the group and then you end up with units. But with NCT, you begin with groups and you make this Transformers kind of collaboration with them, and that's NCT.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, the way I see it, the way I see it is that so members can be added to the units as far as like if they fit the theme or the concept. So there's never a really like a set group even within the unit. So
that's true.
Yeah, so it's a little complicated, but I guess they are subunits because they don't include everyone, right? So it's just they pick a certain number of people. They are the ones that are promoting for that song under that name. But they're all under the NCT label. So
don't the members change every time they come back?
No.
Okay.
No.
They add
people.
They add on people, but they don't like take out people. But NCTU, it could be any people. So like they used to say like
I was just thinking
NCTU any form.
Yeah, NCTU is a little interesting because NCTU was the first unit under NCT, and they're the first one to debut, and with the Seventh Sense. But they had like a vocal, like the vocal group first, and then like dance group, and that one had 10. But then the comeback of NCTU, 10 was not there, and they didn't have like a vocal subunit. I don't know. It's really weird how they decide who goes into what unit at what time.
Here's what it kind of sounds like. It kind of sounds like the producer just puts in whoever he kind of wants every time.
Yeah,
like
basically.
Man. Right. It's like this. NCT is like a city, okay?
Yes,
and the permanent teams like NCT 127, NCT Dream, those are the schools they go to, okay? NCTU is like clubs that anyone can join and anyone can leave. Putting it like that.
All right,
so you can't really go back in the schools, but the clubs, which is NCTU, you can join or you can leave. People can join, like that's all free.
Did you just compare NCT to a city?
Yes.
NCT city, NCT city. Oh! Sorry.
Jesus Christ. 개소리야 이게. But
Okay, and I think I feel like
continue, Warren.
I feel like we shouldn't discuss NCT like within today. Like I feel like they don't really fit into the subunit kind of like concept, if you know what I mean.
They're an interesting.
Yeah, they.
Okay, so here's my question then. Since we don't want to talk about it, I'm gonna make you talk about it then. in like 2 sentences then. Oh no, actually, just give me a yes or no. Do you like that system that they're doing or not?
Maybe.
Yes or no. Don't give me reasons. Just say yes or no.
Maybe.
I can say yes because I'm not like a hardcore NCT fan, but a true like NCT fan might feel different about this. But since I'm like a casual when it comes to NCT, I will say yes.
I think I don't know if I can say yes or no. I feel like I still don't know if it's working, if it's good in the long run.
Okay, but in general, do you guys like when groups do subunits? I think I would say up until maybe 3-4 years ago, I was completely fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
I think that yeah, okay,
3-4 years
way to
ago.
throw me a softball.
I mean, it was a very specific time slot, like 3-4 years ago. What happened?
Okay, no. It's not even a specific time slot, but I'm just saying more recently, it seems that groups. So it's a lot of the most successful subunits obviously come from the most successful groups, right? Because they have residual popularity that can carry through to when they do have subunits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like Big Bang, when they did GD&TOP, 100% it was going to be successful. It's GD&TOP, right? Like, what are you gonna do? Taetiso, like you knew that was gonna work, but it seems that these days, groups that historically wouldn't be doing subunits or maybe shouldn't do subunits are doing subunits with just their popular members in attempts to gain popularity, and I don't think it's working.
So like Semina of Gugudan and Pristin V out of Pristin.
100%. Okay, so you think about it. It seems like the companies that aren't as successful or the groups that aren't as successful sees subunits as a cheap alternative to promoting all of the members of their group. That's my opinion of it. Because, for example, the Gugudan, right? There's 9 members. Well, now there's 8. That's news coming for today.
Jesus.
They came out with 9 members, and then. So the 3 girls from Produce 101 Season 1 were Sejong, Mina, and Nayoung. They are obviously the most popular members of the group. The company decided to do a subunit of just the 3 of them, right? And it was no different than what could have just been a Gugudan song, other than they just chose to promote the 3 popular members.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's problematic because you're just amplifying the issue you already have of uneven popularity.
Oh, I think for Gugudan, like obviously their releases haven't been like, and for the company, money, and it's way easier to move 3 people than all 9 of them.
Yeah, like
because
like I get
doing this.
I get it, right? Like it comes down to money for the lower groups, right? But at the same time, it's like, as fans, I feel it's very obvious when they're doing these type of things. Like, because when I'm a fan of a certain idol, generally that means that I'm also at least somewhat supporting the group they're from. And when they do this kind of thing, like Pristin V, when they come back with only 5 members, including like the most popular ones, I'm like, it's obvious what you're trying to do here. And it's not helping the group as a whole by doing this. And it makes me uncomfortable with the whole future prospects of a group when you're only promoting the popular members, because that's the risk you can take at this time. It sucks.
If you're see, it sucks even more if you're a fan of a person who's not in that subunit. Like for example, let's say I was a fan of Kyla and Pristin who didn't make it into Pristin V. I'm gonna feel really fucking shitty. You know what I'm saying? Like it's risky. It's a big risky move. Not simply because this is you're trying to bait in new people. It's a big risk because you're bleeding out your inner fandom. Like,
yeah, it also is. You know why it's bad though? It's because I'm okay with subunits if it doesn't take away from the comeback schedule of the main group. Do you know what I mean? Like
Really
the
rare, though.
Pristin V single was pretty much treated as a Pristin comeback, even though it wasn't because it's a subunit. Like that's
like,
problematic.
This makes sense because, like, for example, EXO CBX, like when they were doing that, some other members were like acting or they had their own schedules. You know, they're always busy, so it made sense for like. But Pristin, like no one's like, you know, they're not showing up anywhere. They're probably not doing anything. They're not busy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Kyla's in America. She was at a country fair.
That's a whole different topic, which I think is a complete mess. On who are they? They're Pledis, right?
Pledis.
No,
they're Pledis.
They're Pledis. It's like we could have a whole episode on that, but we ain't going to do that right now. But it's like I'm looking at this list of the subunits that I made up for this week, and it's like all of the groups are the really popular groups, right? Like, because when you do subunits right, it's a complement to the main releases. It shows a different side of the artists, and it allows people to see these like collaborations that you didn't think you'd be able to see, right? Like GD&TOP, when they collab, you know it's going to be a rap thing, right? And you're like, that's interesting, because they could just do pure hip-hop instead of doing a typical Big Bang song, right? And that's something special for the fans, because it lets you see different sides of your idol. But for the lower tier groups, I know we only had 2 examples, but it's like I couldn't find the other ones, honestly. But I'm only worried because I'm afraid that this is going to become a trend of doing it to gain popularity with only partial group comebacks. But
I can definitely tell you, Wikimik is on the line. I feel like they're gonna do it next. Come on.
They did a 4-person collab with Uju Sonya where it was only 2 from each group.
That was a commercial. That was a commercial. It was
a commercial?
I think it was a commercial song, wasn't it? Here, let me check.
I don't know, but they were promoting it, and I was like, what does this mean for the 2 groups? I'm happy that the 2 groups came back in reasonable time, because I was worried though that they were just gonna skip a whole release and focus on this thing. But you know,
I guess like the common thing about the Gugudan person, they're both because of like Produce 101, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm concerned for like 101 when they split into their own group. Eyes One, when they split into like.
You're really right, because it's one of those things where it seems that they like, if your whole group wasn't popular, right? Then you wouldn't think that you can do this because it wouldn't work, obviously, right? But it seems like at least the companies that have unequal popularity between members feel that this is an option, and I think that's the complete wrong way to do it. If I want to mention a group that I think, although it hasn't been super successful, I think Daya is doing it the right way, where they're reducing the amount of time Chaeyeon's literally in the middle, and they're giving other kids a shot. Now, I don't know if overall that will work, but I'm happy that they're trying to do it what I would call the quote-unquote right way.
It's fair, yeah.
Where it's because that's fair to the other kids of the group.
Yeah.
But it's tough, because I love me some subunits. It's like those dream collabs that you only like can see in your head sometimes. You're like, I can't believe this is happening, right? But when it's good, and when it's bad, it's obvious. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I feel like one really, really solid and really good example of subunits we haven't really talked about yet is 17. Now, I was originally, up until like a year ago, I had no interest in 17. I was like, oh, that's one of the groups from Pledis with a fuck ton of members. That's how I thought of them. And then someone introduced me, I don't remember who, but someone introduced me to a bunch of their like subunit music videos. And ever since, was it you? The
yes,
Change Up and like their dance subunit song was good. Their rap subunit song was good. Like, and this is coming from someone who has like very high expectations with rap music, and I was like, shit, this is a pop. I like this. You know, like I feel like that's the way you want to go if you want to do subunits. Like each unit should have a purpose, and nobody should be kind of left out.
I think it works great with larger groups like that too, because it's like, you think of it, there's how many kids are in 17? 13?
Yep.
Something like that. Oh wow, I got it right. I'm proud. So they got 13 kids, right? If you think about a 3-minute song divided by 13 plus interludes and stuff, you don't get that much time. And a subunit's a perfect opportunity for you to show off, like, look, this kid raps for maybe 20 seconds in the regular song, but if he raps for like a minute and a half, look at how good he is. And it's just a great way to get more like traction under your artist and show off the individual aspects of how good your kids can be.
Yeah, I think also what I think works with 17, and I wish maybe big as well, is that everybody's in a subunit. So
yes,
it's not like it's just one and then the rest don't get to do their own song. So it just gives them more screen time or singing time for everyone.
It's interesting because it's one of those it's interesting that they place them in groups because it allows the fans to instantly know who's what. And that's kind of refreshing in the K-pop world, because like sometimes you're confused. Are you a vocalist? Are you a dancer? Are you the rapper all of a sudden? What are you, right? And at least for casuals, then it's very obvious. This kid is this role.
I think also, like, if you're a fan of someone in the group that is not part of these units, to see them as often as the other members get to be there, like, I think it just sucks for the fans too, because they just have to wait for the full comeback.
Yeah.
It seems unfair to some people because, like, well, how come this person doesn't get to be in it? Like, they have just as much talent, you know?
I agree with that.
It might be unfair, yeah.
Especially when groups are still building popularity, you shouldn't subunit. But if you're already at the top, then I think it's completely fine, because you've already established your thing. And when you're doing these subunits, if you're at the top, then your other kids definitely have other things going on.
I mean, I don't really completely agree with that, because for example, with the Big Bang, if I was a Seungri fan, there was a couple years where people didn't see Seungri on the stage for a long time. Like,
I mean, he was in Japan balling out.
Oh, that's also true, right? Actually, yeah.
Like, each one of them have their own solos. Like,
they're solo.
Yeah, so they're different. Like, they each of them get their own chance to like shine.
Okay, so some of them don't get as many solos though. Like, Taesung hasn't had a solo in a while. Like, but yeah, I see what you mean.
So something for the future. I'm gonna wrap this up soon, but something for the future to think about is Blackpink is basically subunitating all of their members like Big Bang did in the near future, right? We'll see how successful that is, because the Genie one, I think, has teasers and photos out already.
Really?
Oh my god, what?
This week they got dropped, so that's so it is happening. It's 100% happening, and we'll see what happens, because I know they're pretty much at the top of Girl Group Mountain, but they're not like the top. So we'll see what happens.
With not yet.
Can I add in one more category to these subunits?
Sure, of course.
I feel like there's a unit that's there for like concept / marketing purposes, and I don't know if there's any other examples of this, but 우주소녀 Cosmic Girls does this. They have 4 different units.
Oh my god, these units continue.
There's a W unit, which stands for Wonder Unit. There's a Joy unit, a Sweet unit, and a Natural unit. And I think it's the dumbest shit ever.
Okay, no. The problem with that is they don't do anything with those units.
They don't do anything. It was a thing. It was a thing for their first single, like where they like showed up in like 4 people, 3 people per like shot, and that was the units.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna break your kids up, you have to kind of commit to it. But
there needs to be a purpose. Like, don't do what Cosmic Girls did.
But I would say, to wrap this up, in general, subunits are fine as long as you have things to do for all of your members, right? Like, as long as the wealth is still shared around, I'm okay with it. It's generally best to do it when your group is sort of at the top, because it's not a popularity grab at that point. It's more just a compliment to the real stuff that you're doing.
Right.
And I think in the future, like, I hope that rookie groups don't subunit too early, because it's one way to halt your momentum even further.
That's true.
Dude, I bet Wiki Mickey does it within a year. I bet.
They almost. I'm pretty sure they did something with just Yoo-jung and Doyeon at some point. I'm pretty sure, but I don't quote me on that.
They're
But
always
if they
on
do,
TV and like other content together.
yeah,
Like,
they're pretty much a unit by themselves, which I think is unfortunate. But that was our topic for the week. So let's move on to the news. There was tons of news this week. I tried to cut it down, but Jesus, there was a lot. Let's go through them some sort of fast. First one, 101's Lai Kwai-lin reportedly spotted meeting with top Chinese agencies.
God.
What?
Rumor has it the second
Why?
he's done with 101, he's either going to leave Cube and sign with a major Chinese company, or they're going to do a collab contract like instantly, because the amount of money he can make in China is tremendous. So that was the first one. Second one, two kind of sad ones. So Haeyeon from Gugudan left the group due to health issues, and Pledis Entertainment. So separate issue. Pledis Entertainment had to come out and deny rumors that Pristin Xian has terminated her contract. So
Right, I heard about that.
So those two are kind of bad for those post produced groups. So we'll see what happens out of those. Next one, 101 confirmed final comeback show. So on November 22nd, there will be an Mnet show in collaboration with CJ. And it will be broadcasted on Mnet, and they're currently in talks to also broadcast the show on YouTube and the affiliate channel. So they're getting like a proper TV comeback, which is sad, but at the same time, this is the correct way to do it because of how big a group they are.
No.
Jenny, all right, next one. So this was netizens who left malicious comments about Taeyeon and Chanyeol get legal punishment.
Whoa.
So SM took a hard stance. So they said they're going to pursue legal action against them. And the funny thing was after they announced that they're taking legal action, some of the antis were posting on forums saying like, "Oh shit," and they were nervous about it. Which I was like, karma's a bitch, isn't it? Right?
I saw this happen live, and I was like, shit! Like, look at these posts coming up. Damn.
I know they were so scared and they were deleting their post histories and stuff. Like, so this goes back to a couple weeks ago. Don't be a crazy fan. Don't go nuts online.
Right.
Like, be civil.
Right.
Be a
Chill.
So next one is an ongoing topic. So TS Entertainment to take actions against Hyosung formerly of Secret.
Huh?
So there's been an ongoing legal battle between them where Hyosung says that TS failed to pay her and pretty much they kept her on the shelf for a couple years like in a row, she said. So she said that the courts ruled that her contract with TS was nulled. So she signed with another company, right? In order to finally get to do some work. But then TS said, no, your contract's still with us. So they're suing her. So we'll see what happens.
Stop. TS is so annoying. I hate them.
And the thing is, like, Hyosung had so much momentum and popularity for a couple of years ago. And she sort of just disappeared with Secret. They all just kind of vanished. We'll see what happens. Next one, pretty big one. SM and YG will not be participating at MAMA this year, the Mnet Asian Music Awards.
I heard.
So for the longest time, YG had been boycotting them in general because pretty much if you're any way associated with Mnet, you're gonna win awards. That's what the status quo is at that music show. And pretty much the one of the main catalysts as to why YG firmly boycotted was when IOI won Rookie of the Year over Blackpink. That was one of the big controversies. Now, but it was only YG not participating, but now SM's also like, we ain't doing this show. And that's kind of crazy because in the past, Mama was like the biggest show, one of the biggest shows.
Yeah, yep.
And we'll see what happens. My guess is they're just going to heavily focus on Eyes One, 101.
101. That's right.
And like Twice. Those will be the main headliners, like, honestly, probably. All right, next one. Some follow-up news. So the East Lights, Lee Seok-chul and Lee Seung-hyung, they were seen heading into the police station in order to follow up on the legal actions that's going to happen against Medialight Entertainment, which I think is great because that company should be torn into the ground after the way they treated their artists. So last one, kind of sad news. So YG confirmed survival program to create new YG boy group to begin airing next month.
Oh my.
Wait, why? This makes no sense.
Listen to how cringy the name of the show is. YG Jewelry Box.
What the what?
What?
Okay, they think
Sounds creepy.
They think it's hilarious, right? Because everyone makes fun of them for being a jewelry box, but it's horrible. Cause it's like,
So
the fuck.
this is terrible. Because so the reason why we're saying this terrible is because YG had a survival show late last year, early this year, I forgot exactly when, called Mix 9, where the problem with that show was he took trainees from other companies, did a survival show like Produce, they got down to 2 teams, a guy team and a girl team, and then he never even did anything with them, so it was a complete waste of time. Now I'm assuming he's gonna treat these kids better because they're his trainees, but still, it's like it leaves a terrible taste in my mouth.
Also, the timing makes no sense. Why?
Yeah.
Icon and Winner, sure, they're a couple years in, but they're not old enough to like leave the center stage yet. The fuck?
I just don't get, like, if he has money to make a new survival show, like, why doesn't he like pay the people back from Mix 9? Like,
Right.
So some more info. So overall, there's going to be 29 trainees competing, ranging in age from 14 to 19, and it says that viewers will have the opportunity to vote for their favorites online.
All right, I guess I'm gonna have to go vote again. But Jesus Christ, come on! Like
this is so problematic to me.
it's so bad. It's terrible.
It's like him throwing Winner and Icon under the bus, like literally.
Do they not have like strategists and like financial analysis? Like this makes no sense on any level.
No.
Well, okay. So let's think about it. So JYP has Stray Kids, right?
Yeah.
SM has NCT. I think this is a YG panic group to get in on that like lead group. Still, I think it's a terrible idea considering his track records, which shows like what the heck? But that's all the news. A lot of crazy stuff happening, and it's the interesting stuff about all of this news. It's a lot of it's like we're gonna have to follow up on it in the future.
It's gonna be the next after show.
All right, but so upcoming releases for this week, we have Titans coming back this week.
Damn.
Jesus.
War of the Gods.
November 2nd, Friday, we have EXO full team coming back.
Whew.
November 5th, Monday, we have Twice full comeback.
Wow.
November 6th, Tuesday, we have B2B, and then good luck, we have Gugudan coming back as well.
Good luck.
Like, oh my, Gugudan, Jellyfish, what are you doing? Like,
they're now 팔팔단.
That's true. They're palpaldan now. So that's 8-8 because there used to be Gugudan, which stands for 9-9 because they had 9 kids. But well, like Gugudan should have came back with Wakey Makey and From Miss and Gongwon Sonyo. That's when they should have came back. Like they should have been in that mix. Why are you coming back when Twice and IZ*ONE and potentially Red Velvet and you got Genie from Blackpink? What are you doing? Like, oh my God, they're gonna be so buried. It's unfortunate.
Thinking. They ain't thinking. That's what it is. They ain't thinking. Those fucking dumb assholes. It pisses me off. It's gonna be a waste of fucking money for everybody. You know?
Honestly, you kind of right. You kind of right, fam.
I feel bad. I feel bad for Sejong, man. Like shit.
But anything else? All right, so IZ*ONE's gonna be on Weekly Idol tomorrow.
My God.
They are okay. I'll tell you. I've watched their when they were on Idol Room. It's like way funnier than I thought it would be. And I've watched a lot of Idol Room in the past.
I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it. I heard it's like really hilarious.
So I'll just say like I'll just say one or two weird things that happened. So Kang Hae-won in her introduction promoted Attack on Titan season 3 instead of introducing herself.
What?
That was her introduction. Another interesting that happened was they measured Nako's height to confirm that if she's over 150 centimeters or not. So they were confirming, are you taller than 4'11" or not? That was a whole segment. Other things they did was, if you want to watch Chaeyeon do a ridiculous, what is it? When they do all those dances, I forgot what it's called, but
relay dance.
Yeah, they had relay dance. So Chaeyeon absolutely destroyed that, but it was really funny. So you should check it out. And they're calling Chaewon Heck No Jam these days apparently on that show. That was her nickname throughout the entire show. But she was apparently down for it because she introduced herself as a No Jam member of the group. So we'll see. Oh, also props to Sakura. She sang Lion King at some point. That was
What is going on?
So it was a complete mess, but in the best way possible. So you should check that out. But that's all we got. Does anyone else have anything else that they want to talk about?
In my side of the indie Korean music industry, there's a new album drop called Empty Hands by Hippie with Gypsy. It's a really good R&B album. It's currently my favorite R&B album of the year. Please go listen to it. It's really great. It's really artistic. Shit is fucking lit. Just wanted to say that.
Let's see. I hope everyone has a nice Halloween. If you're old enough to drink, be safe. Don't go too crazy. Everything in moderation.
Go out.
I think on Halloween, if you're on a diet, break that shit. Eat as much candy as you physically can. It's okay. YOLO.
Look, do you want to say that to yourself, maybe?
Also, if you like over the age of like 18, maybe you shouldn't go trick or treating. Maybe it's a bad look for you. But that's just my opinion.
I want to go trick or treating.
Yo, trick or treating is fucking lit. Don't tell them not to.
Bro, when you're like 18, 19 and you coming up in like, okay, no, if you're in a good costume, it's okay. But if you come in street clothes, then I ain't giving you chocolate, bro. Like, let's be real here. But this has been SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We'd like to thank you all for listening in. I'm Doug, and I'd like to thank Warren, Jenny, and Nita for joining me as always. We do not have a Show Me the Money post-episode discussion, but we will be covering it next week, which is the final six will battle it out to see who makes the final three, which should be crazy. Please listen to Eyes One and stream it so we can win more stuff. That's just my opinion.
Oh my god.
So thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.
I love you on Rose.